everybody, you're welcome back to our channel. Today is Easter Saturday, so happy Easter to you all. I'm going to do some baking today with my lovely baking bowl, but I'm not a professional, so I'm by no means a professional, but if you want to see what I bake today, just keep watching. So today we are going to be making some chocolate brownies, and we have to do our melting of the chocolate first, along with the butter. So we have 2 bars of dairy milk chocolate, and we have some real butter. So firstly we're going to melt this all together, our butter and our chocolate. This is ideal for all you sweet tooth lovers. If you have a sweet tooth, you're going to love this. Really, really nice. Break it up before you put it into the bowl. So that's your 2 bars of chocolate into your bowl, and now we're going to divide up our butter. We need 225 grams of butter. So this I'm going to need my weighing scale for. Always make sure that your weighing scale is at 0 before you put anything into your little bowl or little. Let's divide this up. I was just checking there to see did butter actually say it on the, sometimes you can see it on the actual butter, the package of the butter tells you the different grams, but not on this one, so we'll use the weighing scale for it. So guys, we're going to add our butter to our chocolate now. Just try and I like to try and keep everything tidy as I go, clean as I go, as you should say. So we're going to put these in here, and we're going to bring you over to the hob, and we're going to try and melt all this up, and then we can keep going. And let's do what we need to do next. Okay, so just like I said, bring over your bowl and melt it with some hot water in your pot, and just let that all melt up, and we can move on then after that. I also just wanted to mention that while you're melting your butter and your chocolate, don't forget to preheat your oven to 180 degrees, so when you're ready for that stage, your oven will be nice and warm. So guys, we need 75 grams of self-raising flour, so we're going to put that in our big bowl here. We also need 225 grams of caster sugar. So actually we'll take this back here and measure it up. So we have our 225 grams of caster sugar. We're going to put that in with our flour. And now we need to add our eggs. So we need 4 eggs. 4 eggs. Okay, so we have our flour, our sugar, and now we're putting our 4 eggs in with the flour and the sugar. I'm also going to put in a little bit of vanilla extract, but I'm not going to measure that. I'm just going to put in a little bit, maybe like a teaspoon or a tablespoon. So I'm just going to take away everything that we don't need now. Eggs, butter, and we can put all this stuff away. So guys, what we need to do now is we need to mix all this together. So I have my little handheld mixer here, and we're going to just mix away. Okay, so we have it all mixed up here. And we can now add in our, this is all mixed. So we can now add in our melted chocolate and melted butter. So here we have our melted chocolate and butter, which looks delicious. So we're just going to add it in now into our mixture. And of course, you'll always have to lick the spatula, but make sure you wash it again if you have to use it for anything else. So again, we need to go back in with our hand mixer and we need to mix. Now we are going to add some chocolate chips to this as well. We're going to add 2 bags of chocolate chips. I tend to, when I take it out at the end, the chocolate chips actually tend to sink to the bottom, but we actually like that. Now, if there is any, I don't know actually what I'm doing wrong, so if there is anyone that can help me there, all tips are welcome. So just mix again. Okay, so now we are ready to put our mixture into our baking tray or whatever you want to put it into. All we have to do now is we have to line our tray with some greaseproof paper. So we have our tray lined with some greaseproof paper and we're going to pour our mixture in now. This is all the chocolate chips, big chunks. Just try and spread out the chocolate chips as evenly as you can. Make sure to get all the bits out of the bowl. Every little last bit. It'll all add up. Okay, so when we have all that done, we are now ready to go into the oven with this. And we bake this at, as I said before, your oven will be preheated at 180. So we're going to bake this for about 45 to 60 minutes. So just keep an eye on it, and you'll know within that time, maybe about 50 minutes, you can take it out and it should be ready. So while we're going to wait for the brownies to bake in the oven, we're going to make some blueberry and banana muffins. So I have 160 grams of gluten-free flour. Now you can use ordinary flour for this. You can also use oats as well. So I'm going to put this into my bowl here. I'm also going to put 4 bananas into this as well. So I'm going to go and do that now. So just chop them up nice and small. Break them up even. Break them up is probably much easier to break. This is, I suppose, the healthier version. So we're not feeling too bad when we see fruit going in. Okay, the last banana. So 4 bananas into your flour. Okay, so what you should have, something that looks like this. Now we are going to add 150 ml of almond milk. I'm pretty sure you could use whatever milk you want. If you wanted to use ordinary milk, you can. But we're going to use some almond milk. Okay, so we're going to add our 150 ml of almond milk. And now we're going to throw a little dash of vanilla extract into this as well. and a little dash of sugar for good measure. So we're going to get our hand mixer and we're just going to mix it all up, and I'll be back in 1 second. So I am back with my hand mixer, and I would recommend to get a fork, maybe just to mash up the bananas before you try and mix it all, because I tried to mix it all and everything nearly went out of the bowl. So don't do that. But just maybe mash them up a little bit before you go mixing, just to make everything maybe mix a bit smoother. Okay, so there, now we get our hand mixer and we'll try and mix this again. Okay guys, so this is what you should have right now at this stage. Something that looks quite like this. You are going to have a few lumps of banana here and there, but that's actually going to be probably lovely in the muffin if you like bananas. Now absolutely feel free to, if you want to do this, tailor it to whatever fruit you like. If you don't like bananas, it doesn't mean you have to put them in. I just have a little punnet of blueberries, so I'm just going to pop them in. And I'm going to run and get my spatula. Or even better, I have a spoon here. And I'm going to just mix in my blueberries to the batter. Now you could put this into a cake tin if you wanted to make a blueberry and banana cake. Totally up to your own preference. Okay, so what we have here now is your blueberries mixed into it. I'm not long after buying this lovely cake mold, so I actually think I'm going to put my batter and mixture into this to make a nice little cake. Well, hopefully it'll turn out to be a nice little cake, so we'll both find out together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just pour my batter into this, and we will pop it in the oven then for around 25 to 30 minutes. We'll probably leave it in a little bit longer because the recipe I was watching, they were using oats instead of flour, so this will probably actually need longer. But you'll know yourself, if you just keep an eye on it regularly, you should know Probably get another bit out of that actually. I will let you know anyway at the end of the video how long I actually had to leave this in the oven for, as this is my first time making it. So we will both find out together how it looks and see what it tastes like as well. This is what you should be having at the moment. Also, you put it into the oven for 180 degrees. So I've transferred it from my baking dish onto my chopping board. It did raise a little bit. They're not that high, but it looks delicious. I've also actually had a little taste of it now, so I'm just going to leave it to cool, and then I'm going to chop it up into little squares. Okay, guys, so brownies have been a big success. This is what they look like. You can see them there. So they're actually very quite tasty as well. I actually did have a couple of bites of one or two of them. So the top is quite crumbly, as you can see. It kind of breaks, but you have to be careful. So I didn't cut them straight away into the little squares. I let them cool for about half an hour. I will say that it did need about an extra 20 minutes in the oven, so about 80 minutes if you're going to do it, if you're going to bake them. Now I'm going to top them off with a little bit of ice and sugar. And the blueberry and banana cake is almost ready to come out of the oven, so I'll also show you what that looks like as well. You don't have to do this, but it's just if you want to make them a little bit more pretty. Sorry guys, that last clip was a little bit out of focus, so this is what they look like with the ice and sugar on top. They are very tasty, so please let me know if you do give that recipe a try. Okay guys, so I've just taken the banana and blueberry bread out of the oven. It is very, very hot at the minute. I'll just see if I can show you what this looks like. Yeah, I might bring you for a closer look. This is what we have here. So looks so delicious, and the blueberries have seeped through the whole cake, which looks delicious. So what I'll do now is I'll leave it to cool for another little while, and I will take it out of the mold, and then I'll cut a slice and let you see what it looks like. I have just cut 2 slices of it here, and this is what it looks like, guys. It's actually still quite hot now. I should have probably let it cool for another while. This is what it's looking like. Trying to bring it into focus. The blueberry and banana bread. Now, as I said, you could have put this into like a muffin tray and made muffins out of this as well, the same ingredients. But I decided to put it into my little new cake mold, so it turned into a cake. So it's actually quite nice the way it came out, and it's really nice. It's really delicious. So I want to thank you all for joining me today, making my blueberry and banana bread and the brownies. And I would like to say, if you want to follow us on Instagram at Yellow River Lane and TikTok at Yellow River Lane, that'd be great as well. And thank you for the company in baking with me today. Bye, guys.